Hi guys. So I have decided that I'm going to document my journey. So here I am. My name is Kat. I'm 39 years old. I have been married for 14 years and I have two kids. I have a 12-year-old beautiful and artistic daughter and a 5-year-old rambunctious and crazy son. I have struggled with my weight for the last 23 years. It started in high school when I was very thin, but in my mind wasn't thin enough, and I was borderline anorexic. And I joined the military right out of high school. And after being in the military, I came out and would over-exercise. I joined Weight Watchers, I did Nutrisystem, I did medical supervised weight loss programs, you name it, and I have probably tried it. But it was after my daughter was born that I decided to have lap band surgery back in 2009. I only met with one doctor. I saw her 2 times, once in the informational seminar and once on the day of surgery. Every time I was at her doctor's office after that, I saw other doctors in the practice. Now in retrospect, I probably should have visited with multiple surgeons before deciding on just the first one that I spoke to. She didn't offer anything other than gastric sleeve and lap band. So when I was losing weight, I had my band filled probably, I want to say the most it was filled was to 7.5 cc's with a max, I want to say, of like 10 cc's at the time. My weight really didn't go under 200 pounds at that point in time. But when I had my lap band surgery, my max weight was 230 pounds. And then it got to about 200 pounds before I decided to go back to my medical weight loss doctor. And it was between the combination of the lap band as well as her interventions with medical weight loss that I got my weight down to about 185. And that was in about 2015. Actually, it was 2014 because I had my son in 2015. It was at that time that I got pregnant with my son, and I had a scheduled cesarean. So prior to me giving birth, I had them take all of the fluids out of my lap band, and I was never able to get the fluids back in without having complications of nausea, vomiting, being unable to eat, and those sorts of things. And I have just thought for the last 5 years that that's just something that I have to deal with. And it wasn't until this pandemic and everything went crazy that my weight really started to creep up. It creeped up so high, in fact, that my highest weight to date has been 251 pounds. Now, me being 5'3.5", let's not forget the half, that gives me a BMI of 43.8%. It was around that same time that I started having hip problems and back problems, to where it became difficult for me to walk up the stairs or chase my kids, that I knew I needed to do something. So around that same time of April of this year, 2020, during the COVID pandemic, that I decided to reach out to a local weight loss surgeon who had incredibly high ratings and reviews. I had heard his name and this practice's name in my community with other bariatric patients. So I felt really comfortable with him. And I decided that I was going to have revisionary bariatric surgery where they would remove my lap band and convert to a gastric RNY gastric bypass. Because it was a revision, I didn't have to complete the same insurance requirements that were required for me prior to lap band. I did still end up completing about 4 months of doctor supervised visits before they submitted to insurance. And I received my insurance approval in September, and I am scheduled for my revisionary surgery tomorrow. So I am very, very, very excited, and decided that I was going to document this so that I would be able to go back and see the changes that I'm going through and maybe inspire some other people. So my stats are as follows. Again, my highest weight was 251 pounds with a BMI of 43.8. My current weight is 236 pounds with a current BMI of 41.1. I am currently on the pre-op liver shrinking diet. So for the last 14 days, I have been consuming only protein shakes and water. Protein shakes as meal replacements. I'm allowed 5 to 6 a day, as well as 64 ounces of water. I am allowed sugar-free popsicles and sugar-free Jell-O, as well as bouillon or broth should I get lightheaded. So I'm excited for my journey to start tomorrow, and I will be documenting it, so stay tuned.